Happy Hanukkah. Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. Our club continues to make a difference by spending more than $1 million to clothe almost 5,000 local children over the past 22 years. My name is Michael Gordon, and I'm proud to serve as the 95th president of the greatest Rotary Club in the world. To open our meeting today, I would like to call to the front Francesca Gilbert.
Thank you, President Michael. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. Okay. Did I make a face? Probably so. I'd like to do this week's invocation, so if we could just bow our heads. It's not a formal prayer, but nonetheless. At this time last week, many of you might have been at UNLV watching tons of kids enjoy lunch after having spent time doing all sorts of cool stuff with the students and the athletes from UNLV. Earlier that day, many of you and your friends might have been at one of the 3 JCPenney locations helping 365 kids and even a couple of college students shop for much-needed clothing. Even others may have helped set up, cashier, or do something else to take part in this amazing event. To me, it feels like everybody did something. This year's event brought the total number of children that this Rotary Club, in conjunction with many other Rotary clubs in Las Vegas, Henderson, Boulder City, and North Las Vegas, as well as other community organizations and leaders and people, has helped to a whopping 4,953 over 22 years. That's just shy of 5,000 kids. Yep, good. Amazing, amazing. Santa Claus and other events like this breathe life into that statement that while no one can do everything, everyone can do something. Today we celebrate those that did something and those that continue to do something every single day. We ask God to continue to help us find light in darkness, hope in despair, and to continue to give us the strength to share that light and that hope with those who need it most. Amen.
Thank you. I've never clapped during a prayer, so always a first, right? And our song leader today is one of our newer members, Tyler Wistison. Darth Vader here.
Yes. Star Wars opens out tonight, so for those of you who should go see it. May the Force be with all of you. And also in anticipation for 10 Days Till Christmas, we were going to do the first part of Winter Wonderland. There are some printouts on your tables. It's a small 8.5 by 11 with little words. And we have karaoke. I love karaoke. Hit it. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, in his place is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parsons Brown. He'll say, you married, we'll say, no, man, but you can do the job when you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we've made, walking in a winter wonderland. All right. Yay! Thank you.
Tyler. You want to lead us in the pledge?
Oh, yes. All right, now I'll lead you guys in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Mike Kuriamat. Mike, are you ready to jump into service Do we have, I know we have an international visiting Rotarian. So if you could please take the microphone to Bob Warner here in front, and he will introduce our guest, our visiting Rotarian.
Yes, President Michael, it's my pleasure to introduce to you to Unan Buran, and I'm not going to do the last name because I can't pronounce it at all, from Mongolia. And he's here on the mining convention, and he's going to say a few words. And incredibly speaking good English.
Hi everyone. I'm a visiting Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Our Rotary Club has been established in 1995, which is the oldest Rotary Club in Mongolia. We have about 16 Rotary clubs in Mongolia and many Rotaract clubs. And Mongolia is a developing country, and all the Rotarians in Mongolia are quite busy these days. And I'm this year's board member for Public Image Committee Chair, and I'm a fairly new member. Yeah.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you all.
He's going from here to L.A., from L.A. to San Francisco, back to L.A., and then over my word, all the way to Mongolia. I want you to take this flag home for you, and look at that guy right there.
Well, thanks. And now you've been to the best Rotary Club in the world. So, any other international visiting Rotarians? Bob? That's it? Okay, let's move on to visiting Rotarians. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? Right here.
Hello, I'm Brad Zalas, and I'm with the Rotary Club in Glen Cove, New York. And we actually are open mostly to veterans in the area. We help to service veterans from all over because one of our founding members not only fought in World War II, but he was a prisoner of war. So I am honored to be here. I want to thank Captain Kirk for inviting me today. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for visiting. From New York, you probably saw we're in a cold spell right now, so we're suffering. Any other visiting Rotarians? Back here.
Sorry to make you walk that far. Paul Workman from the Summerlin Club. I have a guest with me, Mr. Dave Austin, who is a prospective Rotarian. So I brought him to the table that behaves the best over here with Janelle. And found out afterwards that the inestimable Russ Swain, that I've already had another Rotary meeting with on Tuesday, is here as well. So what a phenomenal, great event for me in the holidays. Great to be with you again.
Thank you. Any other? Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kevin McNamee. It's a pleasure to be here at the greatest Rotary International group in the world.
You got that right. Yep.
I appreciate that. I am with the Thousand Oaks Rotary Group of Thousand Oaks, California, the greatest Rotary group in the universe. But thank you.
Okay. We have a part in the agenda later on where we recognize you for that comment.
Thank you. I kind of appreciate that. My wife and I scheduled this vacation in this wonderful city of Las Vegas about several months ago. And, you know, with the smoke billowing back and forth in Thousand Oaks, Ventura County, I'm glad we're here and not dealing with the smoke and the fires. Best to you all, and anything that you do to help us with the fires is always appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks for visiting. Any other visiting Rotarians? Okay, then let's move on to guests of Rotarians.
So I have as my guest my good friend Adam. And he was actually in the book that, we were both in the book that Brad actually put together. So always good to see him. And then, it's kind of weird, I'm still getting used to it, my fiancée, Becca, so.
Okay. There's also a special time later on in the agenda for that announcement. Any more guests of Rotarians?
Okay, I've got our guest, Stephen, and my guest today. This is Philip Pineda, Philip is a retired Air Force guy, so he came on the right day in 2001, and you are a certified financial planner, and you moved here from California in 2001. Did I get that one right?
2001, and he planted out of the Air Force in 2008. Oh. Thank you for having me here. 2008, I got out of the Air Force and planted my feet here in Las Vegas, so just loving it. So.
Sure.
We're happy to have him. Help me welcome him, please.
Thank you. Any other guests? Okay, then please, I would like to introduce my two guests at the head table. First of all, Sidra Kane, who's been a Las Vegas resident since 1981. She joined Rotary in May last year, and she and her husband Chip traveled the world all over because they were entertainers, and a little-known fact is they actually traveled to Vietnam during the war to entertain the troops. And then joining Sidra is Gina Gentleman, who is a native Las Vegan, one of those rare birds, graduating from Clark High School before obtaining her Bachelor's of Science from USC. She's been in Rotary since 2012, served on our board, and is the current board chair of the Nevada Arthritis Foundation. Please join me in welcoming all our visiting Rotarians guests. We do have a couple of cards going around, if you don't mind signing it, and some good news, some bad news, but we would like to get these cards out. There is a card for Janice Lanke, who had eye surgery on Saturday, if you could sign that. There's one for one of our former members, Lieutenant Colonel Jim Sullivan from the Salvation Army, who is still in town and is not doing well. If you could sign that, please. And then one for Deb Granda, for her husband Bill, who's going through some medical issues. And then a final one for our guest journalist who was here last week, Kevin Cook from the Rotarian magazine. If you could please sign that and thank him for coming. Mr. Sergeant at Arms, we have a birthday table, so if you could take it over to the birthday table there. And Rotarians, if you could please share with us your birthdays and your news.
Blake Myers, my birthday is the 28th, and in response to so many of your inquiries about wanting to get me cards and gifts and so forth, I just want you to know that you have another 15 days to accomplish that. So plenty of time. You don't need to rush, and take your time and really think this out. And I'm also pleased to report that this is the 43rd time I've been eligible to sit at the Rotary birthday table.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and friends.
How do you do?
How do you do? My name is Bill. I was born in December, and I've been a member here for 10 years. I am a past board member, but this organization gives me the opportunity to do what I could not otherwise do, because I could not do Santa Claus by myself, but being part of this group, I was able to participate. So it's a great group. I'm associated with some great people. Thank you very much.
Good morning or afternoon. My name's Steve. I was born on the 2nd of December, so I am already over the limit here. And I've been a Rotarian and member of this club for 8% of my life.
Well, my name is Randy Donald. I'm past president. I was the 90th president of this club. Proud to have been part of that. And my birthday is going to come a little sooner than Blake, so instead of troubling you all trying to run out and find presents, cash will be fine this year. So just wanted to get that out there. So I've been proud part of this club for 20 years now, and really enjoy a lot of the things that we do. And like Bill said, it's something that we can't do individually, but something as a group that we can accomplish great things. And I'm very proud to be a part of that. Thank you.
My name is Jamila Sherrod. I was born December 24th. I think this year I need to embrace my age. I'm getting older this time. I actually stop at 40, but I'm turning 45, so so I guess Merry Christmas to everyone.
Nothing wrong with that. So please join.
Thank you, President Michael. As we always do with the birthday table, if you're a birthday person, please stand up. Stand up so we can see you. And a special announcement, our guest from Mongolia was born in December, so I would like you to stand up, sir. Outstanding. This may be the first time somebody has sung happy birthday to you in English. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Congratulations. Happy birthday, all. And to keep it going, if you could take the microphone to past President Jim Hunt to give us feedback on that wonderful day we experienced a week ago.
Thank you, President Michael. I don't think there's anything really left to say, but thank you. Thank you for answering the call for 22 years. Hi, smile. We don't get the results that we got last Thursday without each and every one of you showing up, helping out, donating funds, and helping us get the job done. I mean, it's miraculous that we've come as far as we have, but thank you to each and every one of you. And let's move on to the next project. I think tonight we're going to go to Opportunity Village. Let's give that the same support and support all of our causes like we do Santa Claus, and that's why we're so great. Thank you.
Thank you. So can we, before we move on, this was a big deal. Cumulatively, we've spent more than $1 million to clothe local kids. So thank you, Jim Hunt. Thank you, Randy Donald. Thank you, Tom Crope, for everything that you do. And that night, if you could take the microphone to Jamie Goldsmith, we had a party. Jamie, where are you?
So we had a holiday party at the fabulous Treasure Island on the amazing Las Vegas Strip. And Chef Doug Stevens made us a beautiful petite filet with a skewer of shrimp, grilled shrimp. It was muy delicioso. And our amazing president, Dr. Michael Gordon, did a fabulous dance in his dapper kilt.
Well, with Sean. Where's Sean?
With Sean. And we look forward to Jim Cole topping that next year. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody who came out. And anyway, okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Staying at that table, if you could take the microphone to Marie Walsh to give us feedback on Breakfast with Books.
Thank you, President Michael. We had a wonderful breakfast with books as usual, and the report is we had 156 children attended, 93 adults with a grand total of 249 people. Thank you all who attended and helped, and thank you all for your support.
Thanks, Marie and John, for always organizing that and helping. And then if you could stay right there and give it to Principal Shannon Brown, or do you want to come to the front, Shannon?
I am perfect right here, my friend. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday, everybody. Again, thank you so much for what you do with Breakfast with Books. We do have an upcoming event that is now becoming a very fast and recent tradition for Beckley Elementary School. We are inviting all of our families, all of our community partners to come and enjoy the movie Polar Express with us in the morning and in the afternoon. So please come on and stop by. We've got hot cocoa and cookies. I will be wearing the most ridiculous Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer pajamas because it will be pajama day. So excuse me if you show up to participate, but that's what we've got going on. And again, thank you so much for all of your support. It's next Thursday. The first showing will be at 9 a.m. and the second showing will be at 1:30. Okay, so swing on by in your jammies. Can't wait to see you.
So you want people, just to be clear, you want people to show up in their jammies at 9 a.m. and then come to Rotary next Thursday in their jammies. That's the announcement, okay? Just making sure. So probably the most important announcement today is that we will be having prime rib next week. So if you're here next week, it's prime rib Thursday. Then I'm going to call to the front, or are you staying there, Larry Rouse? Coming to the front? So our foundation president, Larry Rouse, has a couple of announcements.
Thank you. First of all, due to a resignation of one of the foundation trustees, we have a vacancy on the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees, and we'd like to call out to anyone who is interested in serving on the foundation to let us know that. Sean sent out an email yesterday with a form that we ask you to fill out, which basically asks you what contributions you could bring to the foundation. It requires continuous membership for 3 years in the club, and the foundation trustees cannot be also on the club board at the same time. And if you're interested, please let me know by December 28th, and then the trustees will group together and consider one of the many candidates, many good candidates, to join our already outstanding board. We also wanted to give you an update on a program we're developing. As you know, contributions to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation support many of the services that you provide as the club. And we accept contributions of cash, appreciated securities, property, and there can be some real tax advantages to that. But we also take pride in just recognizing people for their generosity, and as part of that, we're just wanted to give you a heads up. In the next year, we're going to be implementing what we call the J.A. Taberti Fellows program to recognize contributions to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. Just like the folks in Congress we're putting the finishing touches on the legislation. And hopefully it'll be out soon. But we can tell you that we have decided that contributions in 2017 will be recognized. And again, this is a great time of year for charitable gifting. Thank you.
Thank you. As you heard Larry say, that's a pretty big announcement. We are kicking off what we call the Taberti Fellowship, in recognition for gifts $1,000 or more to our local foundation. So this is going to not be like the Paul Harris Fellowship. It's not going to have a ladder. There's not going to be a +1, +2. It's a one-time gift. And if you would like to become a Taberti Fellow before the end of the year, please consider making your tax-deductible donations to our local foundation. See either Larry or Sean for more information about that. So thank you to the committee who helped put that together. Past President Tom Crow, Past President Tom Thomas, Tony Kern, I know was on that, Matt Nelson, and I know I'm forgetting a couple of people, but thank you to all for putting that together. Now I'd like to call to the front President-elect Jackie Thornhill to lead us in our Wetzel presentation.
Hi, everyone. May I have the two winners that we have present today to come forward, please? We had a total of 6 2 weeks ago, and due to some leave and some holiday plans, we have 2 available today to recognize. So the first one we're going to recognize is Staff Sergeant Miles Corbin. I'd like to tell you just a few things about him. Staff Sergeant Miles Corbin is assigned to the 99th Civil Engineering Squadron. He's a team leader in the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Flight. So, as I've said before, every time I go out and facilitate the Wetzel Awards, I continue to be impressed by the magnitude of which our airmen and women serve Nellis and Creech, and this time is no exception. These men and women really are the backbone of Nellis and Creech. They keep the planes flying, they keep the helicopters flying, they keep all of the logistics moving. They keep the two bases moving along. They keep the deployments rolling, and this time is no exception. So I'd like you to welcome and congratulate Staff Sergeant Miles Corbin. And also with us today is Senior Airman Timothy Fletcher. And he is assigned to the 432nd Maintenance Squadron, the munitions flight. And he, once again, is also impressive in the things that he has done for our bases. And once again, I'm also humbled to be able to present to Senior Airmen our recognition. So mark your calendars. The first quarter 2018 will be March 8th. So mark it down. And those of you that have not had the privilege of coming out and joining us, please come out and join us and help us recognize our military. Thank you.
I would just like to thank the Rotary Club for the recognition and bringing us out here today. Also to Colonel Wetzel and his family. So we appreciate it. Thank you for the recognition again. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Now please enjoy a quick 60 seconds for lunch and fellowship. You guys thought I was joking about that 60 seconds, right? So we have a busy meeting. I forgot to mention Randy Frost. Where are you, sir? Welcome back. Randy had to go to the hospital, but he's out now. It's great to see you back at our meeting, Randy. Welcome back. To kick us off, I have Stu Lipoff in front, who's going to talk to us about all things cyberspace.
Well, kind of the first installment at least. This is a really busy day. So this will be the first installment of a tag team match. Kirk Holmes will be on next week to talk a little bit more in detail. But this club has so many resources out in cyberspace, and many of you may be familiar with them, some may not be. What I want to do in just the next 3 minutes is give you a really quick introduction to kind of what's out there. I'd invite you to kind of go on and explore, but there's something there for everybody, which is really useful in between the meetings. So we meet here once a week in physical space, and we fellowship, we learn things from the speakers that are here, we conduct transactions, sign up for various things, and so on and so forth. There's another world out there called cyberspace, which is the intersection of information technology and communications, where really you can do the same things. You can enjoy fellowship through the social media. You can get information about what's going on. You can engage in a variety of transactions. And you can do it in a way that's extremely convenient. It's timely, more up to date than waiting just a week because it's continuous. Stay informed, and you can stay connected to Rotary while you're away. And these are not substitutes for the physical space, but they really can augment it, and I think make your membership more enjoyable and more productive. We've got an amazing variety of resources, and there is not time today to really go through all of them. So all I'm going to do in the next 2 slides, and then I'm going to sit down and we're going to get on with the program, is just kind of tell you what's out there. And then in the coming weeks, we'll do a deep dive in each of the things. We have the club website, which is our face to the world. We have the virtual clipboard that allows you to sign up for stuff even while you're not here. We have a district website with all sorts of information. There's a Rotary International website. There's a database of all sorts of information about both club membership as well as other clubs around the world. We started e-voting. We had a 5th wheel, which is pushed out by email each week, which has the ability to click on a number of different resources and learn things. And finally, we have a whole bunch of social media, including the Facebook page, which you can see the camera up here that Kirk has set up, is actually streaming live out there today. So if you miss a meeting, you can go to your computer and you can watch the meeting live. And if you can't watch it live, you can come back later, and that's stored on there, and you can watch the recording of a meeting that happened. So that's it for today. Next week, we'll do a deep dive into the website and through some of the other resources. And but I invite you to, click on some of the stuff that's on the 5th wheel, take a look at the club website, learn a little bit about what's on there, and I think you'll find that it'll improve your overall Rotary experience. Michael, back to you.
Thank you, Stu and Kirk, for doing that. And as Stu said, next week we'll dive a little deeper, and then the following weeks as well. Mr. Sergeant at Arms, if you could take the microphone to past President Dave Thorson for some announcement. I don't know why, but...
Good afternoon, Rotarians. Well, we finished up Santa Claus, which means we are about halfway through the Rotary year, which means it's time to start thinking about a debunking party for Michael Gordon. In our efforts to make sure that it's a big splash, the applications are now open for members of the debunking committee. So come and see me if you're interested in helping out with this. I have some interesting ideas, and you will have a good time, Michael.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks for organizing that. Bill Houghton, just 30 seconds clothing order sheet.
Yeah, we've been passing some order sheets around, and I think Sean's been collecting some. I had some additional requests for like a long sleeves shirt sample. Anybody wants a sample of the shirt or anything that we can do to facilitate your getting the Rotary shirts, just let me know. Give me a call, give me an email.
And thank you, Bill. Bill put some of his calendars out there. If you need a calendar for 2018, feel free to grab one up front.
For sure. Thanks. Help yourself.
Thanks for that, Bill. If you could take it to Eric Astromecki, or actually, is it Jim Cole or Eric Astromecki for the car show? Eric is closer.
So everyone should have received an email in the last week with the sponsorship package for our upcoming car show, which is on April 15th. So we need your help in finding people that may be interested in being a part of it. And if you know anybody who is interested in purchasing a sponsorship, please have them reach out to me, Janice, Jim Cole, and we will make sure that we answer any questions they have. Also mark it on your calendar, April 15th. Pause and smile for Jim. Yeah. Yep, it's on the same day as tax day. Most of you won't forget that day, so just show up at the car show on that day. And then while I'm here, we have this Saturday we have our our quarterly highway cleanup. We meet at 8 a.m. at the corner of Bonnie Springs exit. Usually it takes about an hour or so to pick up some trash, and then we go out for breakfast afterwards. So hopefully anyone that has time this upcoming Saturday can make it to there as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anil Melnick, are you here? 95th birthday party?
Updates to save the date, April 5th, and more updates to follow soon.
Thank you. I like it when it's short and sweet. Randy Kinnaman, are you here? So we collected toys for the Salvation Army. The distribution is this coming Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. at Cashman Center. If you are free, yes, you have an update on that? Oh.
Something I can add to that. I apologize I didn't mention this earlier to you, President Michael.
Perfect.
But the JCPenney stores in Galleria Mall mentioned to me as we were finishing up shopping, they had over 150 backpacks. And would I know some place that could use those? I said, absolutely. So I picked those up yesterday, and I delivered those to the Salvation Army this morning. And they're busy there at the Cashman Center organizing everything. And I tell you what, there's 2 boxes this tall, so I'm sure there's well over 150 backpacks, and that was donated by JCPenney's.
Sure. Thank you. So if you have time this coming Saturday, do the highway cleanup the morning, and then between 3 and 6 at Cashman, if you could hand out toys, that would be appreciated. And then Michael Williams, we're doing something in a couple of hours.
Opportunity Village is next Thursday night. Be at Opportunity
Tonight.
14th, excuse me, tonight. Sorry. 4:30. Just come to the rear entrance, and if you come late, you've got my cell number already. Just call me, and I'll come and get you. And it's going to be a great time. If you're not in the Christmas spirit, you will be within just an hour. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Now, if we could raise some money real quick for our foundation. We're trying to get to $2 million, as you guys know. So let's start right there where you are. President-elect, for those of you who weren't at the holiday party, we have announced our 97th president for our club, Jackie Thornhill. So let's congratulate Jackie Thornhill for taking the helm. And just because you're the 97th president, I'm going to fine you $97. So say whatever you want, because that fine is coming.
I'm very happy to pay $97.
Any big plans? Any big plans already for your year?
Lots of fines. Because it'll be $97 that year, not $95. So I'm willing to, lots of $97 fines. Maybe I'll even do more than that.
Hey, you're the president.
Yeah,
so.
it's my option, right?
Sure. Well, thank you and congratulations again with your new title. And then here up front, even though we already got the largest fine of the year, I just have to reiterate that fine. For those of you, again, who weren't there, Kirk Holmes made sure that we organized an engagement party for him last Thursday night when he proposed to his now fiancée, Becca. So, Kirk, do you want to explain what happened at the Rotary engagement party? Or what was it, the holiday party? What exactly?
No, I want to talk about your attire that night and how you kept on, there was a breeze every time you'd sway. No, actually, what was ironic is I looked at my membership certificate, and it was kind of appropriate that I joined Rotary 2 years prior to that day and created a new family, and so it kind of only seemed natural that, start another family. And we love Rotary, so why not? And her family was here, so the family we choose and the family we're stuck with, we're all in the same room.
Thanks. I'm so glad we are recording all this so we can show this to the in-laws, that comment. So congratulations, you two, and we appreciate everything you do. And of course, as Kirk said, the family of Rotary is everything. So So welcome and enjoy these holidays. So with that, I would like to introduce Sidra Kane, who is going to introduce our guest speaker. Oh, I'm sorry. Nobody called me on it. What? We're out of touch here. The drawing. I'm sorry, Sidra. So the drawing, the lucky number is 3822588. 2588. Arlene? It's a joker. Oh. Congratulations. That is yours. Keep that. Keep that and see Sean. That is a Christmas miracle. So, congratulations, Arlene. And then for the Lowry Bucks, it is 2581. 2581. 2581. Jerry Engel. Jangle. Yes, and now Sidra. Thanks, Sidra.
Thank you. Okay. Today, I am really proud and happy to introduce Bob Brown. Bob is a well-known and well-respected person in our community and an all-around great guy. But he's an effective leader and he's a friend to many of us. As you probably noticed, he seemed to know more than half the people here. But he was formerly the publisher of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He's been a past chairman of the state's largest business organization, the Las Vegas Metro Chamber of Commerce. And now, Bob leads one of Southern Nevada's most loved and most impactful nonprofit organizations, Opportunity Village, an organization that's about helping people with disabilities live without limits, and which, in Bob's words, is that once small school which grew into what today is recognized as a leader in the field of rehabilitation services. So I'm very happy to introduce Bob Brown.
Thank you, Sidra. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. How are you doing today? Got a little video for you. Captain Kirk is lining me up. So we're going to do the video first. That way I don't have to worry about technology. You know why we're doing that. I just want to say I did get the email from Blake, so I'm all set, okay? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. And Principal Shannon, we're all supposed to show up at your school in pajamas? Okay, all right. The newspaper publisher me comes out every once in a while. I'm thinking, I want a visual of that, you know. Explain that one. Oh, here we go. So while he's working on that, does everybody know where the back door is? He said, when we go to Opportunity Village tonight, all you that are volunteering, it's actually we'll be at the front door, but it's the parking lot facing CCSN, okay, College of Southern Nevada. So when you go into the parking lot, there's a big gate there. It says Magical Forest. That's where you'll go in. So for all of you that are coming tonight, and I knew you were coming tonight, so I have a beautiful weather report tonight, 55 degrees. So it's probably the balmiest night we've had in 3 weeks. It'll be beautiful, okay? So you're going to have a great night. And if you're there until 9, which you should be if you're volunteering, the Perseid Media Shower will still be going overhead. So there's some dark spots. You'll be able to see that. So, it's a twofer. Here we go. He's got it. Captain Kirk's all over it now. They don't let me touch technology, so I'm not going near that computer.
Singing it, she's dancing at home, she plays music at home. It's amazing.
She's awesome because she's very...
There we go.
The doctors are telling me that Anna will never walk and talk, eat by mouth. At the time, she already had a 13th surgery done. They told me that you gotta accept it. She's never gonna be a normal child. You just have to take it. And I wasn't gonna take it, just like an OB won't take it.
안녕하세요. My name is Anna Kaplan. On Monday through Wednesday and Friday, I'm in the work center doing piecework. And on Thursday, I'm in the art room, art performing arts. What I like about Opportunity Village is the environment, my friends, and people who help us with whatever we need.
One of the things she wanted to do was learn something in Japanese. And we learned a song from one of Anna's favorite anime cartoons. And it took a while, but we got it. And what the really neat thing was that she got a chance to perform it for the Toyota family when they came through on a tour here at Opportunity Village.
I play songs with Daryl Borges, and he teaches a lot of the chords on the ukulele, and we have so much fun doing it.
Anna is very culturally aware, so a Hawaiian instrument, anything Hawaiian or Samoan or Korean, anything like that, she really gravitates towards.
She practices at home, she's singing at home, she's dancing at home, she plays music at home. It's amazing.
She's awesome because she's very energetic. She always likes to lay a challenge down for herself.
She have a lot more empowering herself. She believing in herself a lot more than before. She actually do think she can do anything if she put the mind into it.
Without Opportunity Village, I would be at home, depressed, not having any friends.
Opportunity Village is, for me and my child, is everything I ever asked for. It is amazing. Actually, Anna have a place to go to work.
All the people here are really friendly. They'll come up to you, they'll hug you. You get to have a relationship with the people at work.
Well, Anna, she's a friend of mine. She always says things to make me laugh, make me feel happy, make me feel good within myself.
Anna is a lovely person.
I've been friends with Anna for like 3 or 4 years. She's a good friend to have around. She's funny, and I like hanging around her.
The environment is just so good and so, nice.
Me and Anna, we work together. She is a very supportive friend. We have a lot of fun together.
I couldn't even imagine this journey up to this point without Ovi. I don't even know.
where I'm going to be with Anna at this moment. It is just so good to have them in my sight. It really is.
So tell me I don't have the best job in the world. I got the best job in the world. I get to work with about 1,200 folks just like Anna, and Anna is just one special person out of 1,200 special people. Every single person has a story, just like everybody in this room has a story. You know, and I like to really bring it down to the level of talking about people as people. Because once you make a connection with another person, suddenly, you know, you're not looking at the differences so much as you're looking at what you have in common. And believe it or not, you would have millions of things in common with the folks at Opportunity Village. They want the same things you do. You know, they like a good laugh, they like a good meal, they like to have fun with their friends, they like to see people, they like to go out and do things. And it's that kind of energy that really is the engine that really ignites Opportunity Village. And why, for example, we had a group of people here from Mongolia about 6 months ago. We had a group of people come through and do a tour, and it was amazing, and I was so impressed. They left me a nice little plate as a token of their appreciation, but it was amazing. It's just amazing that you're here today, because it was one of my favorite tours ever, because as we were touring, I noticed that one of the ladies that was with the tour was kind of holding back a little bit. She was kind of walking a little behind the rest of everybody else, and so, and she looked a little emotional, and I asked her, you know, what was going on, and she said, first of all, she said, I can't talk to you in front of the others, and I said, oh, okay, you know, so we, you know, went into the other room, and she said, you know, I have a disabled child, and nobody knows that, because she's at home, you know, and it's embarrassing in our country to have somebody with a disability, and so we hide it. And how touched I was by that, and how I thought, you know, we need to build opportunity villages everywhere, right? And we should. We should. You know, we've got a great system here for teaching people that these are just people. They're just people, just like you and me. Okay, dreams, goals, aspirations, all those things. It's so important to be able to express that, to be able to live that, and to be able to grow. So I've got a little bit of a slideshow. We'll try the technology. I don't know. We'll see how it works. You know, Captain Kirk did a great job. I'm not being critical there, Captain Kirk. You did awesome. All right. The reason they do this, I told Tom Thomas this. Tom Thomas is on our board, though. Thank you very much, Tom, for your volunteers over millennium, a long time supporter and a wonderful person, and a guy. I have to tell you that I probably would not be at Opportunity Village if it wasn't for Tom Thomas, so I can honestly say that. So we're gonna talk a little bit about what we do there, and then I'm going to take some questions from you, but I want you to understand that the number one task of every single employee, if I walk up to an employee and they don't know this answer, they're in the doghouse with me, and that's a place you don't want to be. What's the number one job that you have today? And the answer is to make a connection with somebody, okay? Make a connection with somebody, one of our clients. And that connection could be, what movie did you watch last night, or what's your favorite sports team, or you know, what's your favorite meal, or what, you know, just find out about the person, not about the disability. That's very important for us. And we call that the OV way, and that's really the cornerstone of it. The other one is enthusiasm. You know, I mean, you don't want to see a bunch of people walking around sad all the time. You know, these folks we work with, they get up, a lot of them get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They get themselves ready. They get out the door on the bus, and they arrive at our place about 7:30. Okay? That's the RTC. I mean, that's, anybody from the RTC here? Good, I don't have to take anybody down. Okay. No, I mean, you know, if you see the special buses going around town, 80% of those buses are Opportunity Village clients. Okay? So they line them up, and, you know, they're going through. I know my daughter, I have a disabled daughter, she gets picked up about 5:50. So I get up about 4:30 every morning, and, you know, we've got a little process with her to get her up and out the door in the morning. But she's just like everybody else. She's got good days and bad days. But, that whole notion of enthusiasm permeates the place. When you go in there, you have a good feeling because you're around people that are excited about being there. And as a staff, we should be at least as good as the clients on that. So that's another very important thing for us. The other is productivity. We talk a lot about that. We have to go out and we have to make about $25 million a year. Okay? So get the checkbooks out. Sell a lot of stuff. What you're gonna produce, because we produce a lot of stuff. What services you're going to be involved in. We have a huge janitorial business. We've got a huge shredding business. Our shredding business is growing by leaps and bounds. We've got a document imaging business. We've got a culinary business. We've got a cookie business. There's businesses after businesses after businesses, and the businesses were there and created because, we try to place people in jobs. But it doesn't always work out, all right? It's a very special employer that's going to employ somebody with intellectual disabilities. There's a lot of needs that are there, and there's a lot of situations that can happen. So we're very cognizant of that. We train our employers, and we work hard to get people employed. But we also know, when I place you in a job, you're not going to be in that job for the rest of your life, usually. Something's going to happen, transportation issues, medical issues, changes in where you're living. And so there's a lot of things that can affect an employee, and that's something that we're very cognizant of as well. So there's that whole process of placing people into jobs, but also making sure that they have a safety net when something happens. Stewardship, we are stewards of your money. Who owns Opportunity Village? You guys do. All of you. Everybody in this room owns Opportunity Village. We're a nonprofit. We're owned by you guys. We're owned by the public. So our job every day, Steve Linder knows that. He used to be on our board. Hey, Steve. Our job is to make sure that we are stewarding your resources correctly, right? So, every once in a while I get a call from somebody and they're unhappy about something, and you know what? I get it. They want to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. That's the trust that we have to build. And then development. Always trying to develop new ways, new thinking, new ideas. Development is really important for us because, the jobs that we're going to create in the future are not the jobs that we're creating now, just like at your place. This is Tommy. I was introduced to Tommy. It's kind of a funny story. I was introduced to Tommy, and he works at our North Campus, and he was on a contract up there. He's actually moved on, and he's retired. He still comes to our campus every day, but he doesn't work every day. And so I was introduced to Tommy. I was doing some work with Tommy's team, and Tommy looked really familiar to me. And so that Sunday I was in church, and I happen to be a Catholic, and I'm in it's a Catholic mass, kind of a serious, solemn thing, and all of a sudden I hear, "Mr. Brown!" from like across the church, right in the middle of mass. And Tommy comes trailing down the aisle and comes up, gives me a big hug, and goes back to his seat. And I thought, this is going to be a good job. I'm going to really like this. We're a local nonprofit. We're 63 years old. I think that most of you know the story about how we were founded by families. For those of you who are visiting, it was just one of those serendipitous things where we had people, and I think that's it's a very Las Vegas thing, where we had people that took something into their own hands and said, we're going to do something about this. This is wrong. We're going to fix this. And so these 7 families got together because they had disabled children, and they figured out a way to keep their children occupied during the day. They came up with little tasks. It actually was a little mail room. We had they used to work a lot with cards or mail, and so they used to process that. They used to put things together. They had some little collate things for the strip. They actually sorted chips. There's all kinds of jobs that they would go out and find jobs, and the group would come up and they would do them. And so that evolved into the business that it is today, which is huge. and all over the southern Nevada area. But these services that we produce, in the beginning we just did these little jobs, and then we got into rehabilitation. And rehabilitation is simply, when you've got somebody that is so disabled that you're feeding them and you're taking them to the bathroom and you're just caring for them at that point, that's a different level of disability. So it starts there, and that's our PRIDE program. And then we have our ENABLE program where you're maybe a little more advanced, got a little more ability, but you're not ready to do work because you can't seem to focus on just doing a task. But we're going to work on you and try and get that done. But for those two groups, it's more about quality of life. I mean, really, what we're trying to do there is we're trying to create an environment where we're giving them the 7 best hours of their day. They're doing something fun and exciting and interesting that they can work with. And then if you can graduate beyond that, the higher levels are going into the work center. And, there's a lot of talk about special minimum wage. Anybody hear of special minimum wage? Everybody hear that? Sub-minimum wage, it's called. All right, we are purveyors of sub-minimum wage. And there's a lot of people that get really antsy about that, like, oh, my God, they're exploiting people. Okay? So I have a young man, and he is extremely disabled, but he can move his left hand. And so we gave him a job. And now he can actually collate with his left hand, and he sits at the table and he does work for about 3 or 4 hours, and we pay him for that. And we have to go out and get the contract that provides him that work. But when I'm getting the contract, do I go to the person giving me the contract and I say, hey, listen, it's probably going to cost me about $100 to do this, but I want you to give me $1,000. How's that? That going to work for you? And most people, would say no. And in fact, everybody says no. So we go out and we get our contracts at a competitive rate. But then I have to figure out a way to pay this young man to do this work. I can't mention his name because we're taping this, and we have to make sure that we don't use names and HIPAA rules and all that stuff. I used to get in all kinds of trouble for that. What we do is we say we're going to carve out that portion of work that he does, and we're going to pay him a commensurate wage for that. And we do that with about 300 kids, okay? They would not have a job if they didn't have that. They would not make any money, okay? That's the difference. I'm telling you, the people that are against special minimum wage, all they're saying is don't pay them. Just don't pay them. Let them volunteer. Let them do the work, and then instead of getting a $35 check every 2 weeks, they just get nothing. And I disagree. Because you know what? That $35 check to him is more important than most of the checks that people get on my staff. Okay? He loves it. It's exciting. And he gets to go home and he gets to show his brothers and sisters and his parents that he makes money. He's got a job. Okay? There's value in that. And if we forget that there's value in that, shame on us. Okay? There's value in that. So that's what a special minimum wage is all about. When you hear all this nonsense about, well, we're exploiting people, come on down and watch us exploit people. Okay? And if somebody is exploiting somebody, I would be the first one in line to go get them. Trust me. Okay. We have 4 campuses and a thrift store and some land. And pretty soon we're going to have a couple other sites, and we're building and we're growing and we're adding people, and the future is bright, thanks to a wonderful board and a great group of donors. And then I think I mentioned earlier, we've got contracts all over the valley and all different kinds of things. Okay, so the Pride and Enable, remember that lowest group of people that I talked about that we're just doing the rehabilitation for? There's about 527. Actually, it's more than that now. It's almost 550. We've had a lot of new people. State and federal contracts. So let's talk about wages for a minute. We have 122 people on state contracts. Those people make over minimum wage. Okay? We have 176 people on federal contracts, including Nellis Air Force Base. You probably see them in the mess out there. They make a federal minimum wage, which is $15 an hour. Now, that is amazing. These guys, they are clamoring to get these jobs, right? And think about it. So we start out in that work center, and then we've got jobs out at our serve sites, and then we've got these federal contracts. So there's a pathway there, right? There's a course there that if they want to make more money, they can, right? And that's good. We want that. We want to build that in. Let's think about that. What motivates people? You know, money motivates a lot of people, so we want to make sure we keep that in place. We've got 1,700 people that we placed in community jobs. These are just straight placing you in a job in the community. Nobody ever talks about that with Opportunity Village, okay? That's a lot of people, all right? And that means that you're going out to a business and you're placing somebody in that job, and you're coaching that business and trying to help them to understand what it's like and how that's going to work, and the bus is going to show up at this time and it's going to show up at that time, and you know, you might need to give them a little bit of help with this, that, or the other thing, and it works 1,712 times. We have about just under 300. Actually, the school district just gave us a few more. So we're going to have a little over 300 kids in our job discovery program. That's where we take kids that are in special education in high school. And we go out into the community, same thing, we find businesses. We place a group, it's called an enclave, of about 4 or 5 kids and an instructor. And we put them into a work environment, and they're actually doing the work, okay? So they're actually working at the business, and we're at, oh my gosh, we're all over town. I mean, it's amazing the contracts we've got, from hospitals to gaming companies to manufacturing companies. We do a lot of, just a lot of work, and none of it is what we've always been known for is our janitorial work. And, you know, I don't know about you, but not everybody likes to do janitorial work. Okay? Now, we got a lot of kids that'll do a great job, and they love janitorial work, and that's great. But that's not everybody, and everybody's an individual, and so we got to start cubby-holding people and saying, these are the only things that you can do. You know, we placed somebody in a work situation about 2 weeks ago. I hope it works out, but it's as a carpenter's assistant. And, you know, that's what they wanted to do. And the carpenter's all fired up about it, and we'll see how that goes. You know, but we're going to keep track of that, and that might be a whole new career path for us. Thousands of people have been employed over 60 years. I love these guys. And then we've got a fine and performing arts program. Several years ago, a woman that worked for us, Linda Smith, everybody in here knows Linda Smith probably, yeah, okay. Linda Smith was at a program, and she saw them doing some art, and she came up with this great idea that we should have an art department. So eventually we hired some artist assistants, and they come in every day, and now we've got a whole crew. I think it's Tom Thomas's favorite part of the whole building, but the art in there is amazing. I mean, we have people that cannot express themselves verbally, but can express themselves on a canvas with elegance and beauty like you've never seen. And that is just amazing, right? So to have that as an asset is just fantastic. And now we just signed an agreement where we'll have some contracts where we'll start to do we'll take the art and we're going to reproduce that. FLM's talking about putting us on some chocolate boxes coming up next year, hopefully for Valentine's Day. And we'll have some really interesting work for people that want to be a professional artist and have the talent and the ability to do it. So we ought to be able to let them do that. And our job at Opportunity Village is just, let's figure out a way to make this happen. You know, I mean, our job is just, you know, kind of get out of the way and just figure it out, and, you know, let them take off and fly. Okay. So I don't know what this slide is. Look at that. So we employ a lot of people with disabilities. That's fantastic. It's my first time. You know, I was telling Tom before this meeting, I spoke, at the last group I spoke, I went 20 minutes over, and they said, you know, we need to put you on a PowerPoint, so this is what they gave me. I get a little excited. We save taxpayers $37.4 million a year. We save taxpayers I figured this group, just seeing if you're paying attention. Okay, these are all the businesses that we currently operate. I think I talked about every one of those except for maybe, no, buttons, Cutlery. So cutlery's kind of going away because of technology. We used to have a really good cutlery business. Like, you know, you go into Applebee's and they'll give you the napkin and it's wrapped with the silverware, right? Unfortunately, that's all getting automated. So our hand process is just slower. And again, the businesses that we're in today are not going to be the businesses that we're going to be in 10 years from now. And our staff has to understand and know that. So as we invest in equipment or the things that we think about, we always have to be thinking about where we're going to be, not where we are. And that's really an important process. We pay about $3.7 million in wages. Not about, that's pretty much the number dead on. So we're paying people with disabilities that much money every single year. Okay? That's pretty cool. And how can you help? Well, first of all, tonight you can volunteer. So make sure you do that. Come on down tonight. You can write me a check. I'll always appreciate that. You can contact us at OV and become a volunteer. And really, you can help at any level or any way that you want. But the idea for this group, the work that you do, the volunteering that you do, what I saw what you did with Santa, with the toys, you get it, okay? You want to spend your time doing good things for people because the value there that you bring is amazing. And you want to come down and you want to tour Opportunity Village. And I'll tell you why. You're going to get more out of it than you're ever going to give, okay? You're going to be able to be in there and feel that place and really understand from an incredible perspective how blessed you are. And that's a good thing. And how wonderful it is that you're able to live your life the way you are and have the things that you have when you have all these people that need all this help. So I want to thank you, and I'll take any questions. I know I'm running a little over time, so go ahead. There you go. Yeah, I'll stay.
Yeah, Bob is available if you need, if you have questions for him afterwards. Yeah, well, and Bob. Yeah. Thanks. We would like to give you our Share What You Can award, which feeds a homeless vet with a needy meal, a needy homeless vet with a warm meal in your name. Thank you. Thank you all. Prime Rib next week. If you cannot be there at 4:30 today, they will take any volunteering. So if you can only show up at 5:30 or 6, that's still fine. And like I always say, Rotary is like tennis. The one who serves best usually wins. Now go forth and make a difference.